Here's something I haven't seen used very often, although it's just sitting there, and that's Viewport cloner controls. So if we get ourselves a cloner, and we're going to stick a sphere inside it, do it in the right way, might help. We'll make the sphere fairly small because we might need a lot of them. Turn the segments down a bit. Let's just have that in the middle. Put that bit to default so we can actually see what we're doing. Now by default it'll come in as a linear per step cloner, and you probably realise you've got these little control points on here that you can drag around, but you're still only going to have your count of 3. It's just going to move the position of the beginning and end point. And if you change it to radial, you've got a control point in there which unsurprisingly controls the radius. You can't control like the number of clones or whatever. But what is interesting is if you go to the grid array, everything looks pretty similar. You can control the spacing between the clones using the control points that you can see there. But if that's on endpoint mode, but if you change it to per step mode, nothing changes in here. But you'll notice there's another little control point in the corner here. If I pan out a bit so you can see what goes on. As you pull this one, the clone count will alter. So the distance between the clones stays the same. It's just the count that's altering. Once you get down to a level of 1, like that, then when you use it, you're going to be able to extend the count in the Y and Z directions, but not in the Y, because in effect you've got that taken that down to 1, and I guess you can't sort of pick up from there, so you have to add another layer first before you can actually start interacting with that again. But once you do, you're away. So that's pretty cool, and unsurprisingly really it does the same thing with the Honeycomb Array. Once you've got a Honeycomb Array on the go, you can use these controls to alter the distance, and then in the corner you've got another one which controls the count, which is a very useful feature, and one that I say I haven't seen it used very often, and I must admit I haven't used it myself very often, but I hope that's useful for you, and look out for some more cinema bites.